Caitlin Wilson.
I'm Carla Dyer.
Tom Shapsis.
And we're consumer relations, and our case study was Papa What's Next, text Papa John's Pizza first with text ordering option. So right now, the problem was that by the early 2000s, the only way to order pizza was either in person, over the phone by calling, or manually online. So Papa John's decided to make the process easier, and in November 2007, they introduced through their website, papajohns.com, to offer its first text messaging services. Mainly because they realized that there was just a quicker way. As always, people are always on their phone. They felt like even the calling process was becoming a little more tedious, so they wanted to reach out and see if this was going to work. And one of the main issues for the research was, is it really faster to text than call to order pizza? Papa John's worked with Fleischmann-Hiller Inc., which is a public relations and marketing agency, to test it out, and they had a series of events, and one of them was they wanted to host an event to put the world's fastest talker, who was speaking 10 words per second, against the world's fastest texter, who can type 3.6 characters per second, to order pizza at the Mall of America in Minneapolis. Papa John's founder, John Schneider, grew up in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and he began to deliver pizzas out back in 1984. He continued to grow his franchise and make it really wholesome, and just always trying to find a way to make things easier for the customer, which is basically why Papa John's decided to do the entire thing itself. The publics affected were the customers with cell phones who choose to text over calling on the phone. And according to the case study, research showed that text messaging was becoming the communication vehicle of choice. And it showed that 74% of the population with the age demographic 18 to 24 use their phones for more than making just calls, so it just seemed to be the right move. We think that Papa John's targeted the right publics because they had to appeal to people who'd actually use their service, and by setting up wireless laptops stations at the Mall of America during their World's Fastest Talker versus World's Fastest Texter event, they were able to sign people up right then and there and see how people actually viewed their idea.
Okay, so the objectives that Fleischmann-Hiller showed up for this campaign were to propel media and consumer awareness of Papa John's text message ordering option, to increase opt-in registrations for the papajohns.com email and cell phone customer database, and to push customers online to papajohns.com to watch the text message ordering flash demonstration that took place at the Mall of America. And so the first objective was an impact objective, and that's just, it's the lowest objective to accomplish because it doesn't really require consumers to do anything. The last two are output objectives, and they are behavior effects, and so they cause people to go online, and it's pushing people to do things like that. And so, personally, I think all of these objectives failed to contain all of the elements required to be meaningful. They didn't show anything measurable, and they didn't have an end date. So, I made some new objectives. The first is to propel media and consumer awareness of Papa John's text message ordering option by 25% by March 1st, 2008, to increase opt-in registrations for the papajohns.com email and cell phone customer database by 35% by March 1st, 2008, to push customers online to watch the demonstration by 55%, and to increase confidence amongst the technology-savvy customers that Papa John's is a leader in innovation by 30% by March 1st, 2008. And the objective to propel media and consumer awareness of Papa John's text message ordering option was consistent with the research conducted, like Liz said, but the other ones were a little bit less valid. And so for the awareness objective, we think that a campaign involving a competition between the world's fastest texter and the fastest talker was really innovative to show and demonstrate what this campaign was all about. And along with the challenge, Fleischmann-Hiller, they reached out to influential technology bloggers to complement the event. And they also released an exclusive story in the Wall Street Journal to let their their shareholders and partners know that it was a good way to introduce the new option. But we do think that it should have been a little bit more private at first and then release that, just so that shareholders knew coming into it what was happening, and it wasn't, oh, let me open up the Wall Street Journal today and, oh, well, the company that I'm a shareholder in is doing this new thing and I haven't heard of this. So it just probably would have been a little bit better to be a little bit more transparent. And then the awareness objective set, it isn't really enough to generate supportive behavior, and that objective won't reflect the purchasing power. So we thought they should have kind of implemented things that would really push the purchasing power instead.
So the strategy that they used was implemented by the company, so it's proactive, and it was an action strategy because they implemented this special event that was held at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the communication strategy was based on creating newsworthy information because this was a system or a type of ordering that was going to be offered by only Papa John's, and they were the first. So that made media want to cover it. And the key message they tried to communicate was that text ordering is easy and efficient. So because they pitted the world's fastest talker and the world's fastest texter against each other, they're proving a point that text ordering is just as easy, just as convenient, just as fast as calling on the phone. And they used kind of a logical appeal by saying that 48% of mobile phone users use their mobile phones to text their family and friends every single day. So, but they also use kind of a fun, interesting, entertaining event to get people out, to make people interested, to make text ordering seem like something that was convenient, but also just something interesting and new and different. Tactics that they used, they sent out press releases. As Caitlin said, they secured a publication in the Wall Street Journal, which is a national publication. They also secured publications with the Associated Press, which then got sent out to local media. And because of that local media pickup, more people came to their event, and they successfully used the media to create awareness for their event, for their new product. And they did extensive blogger outreach, which is something really important because at this time in 2007, that's kind of when social media was really jumping off. And we'll show you the video. They filmed the event, they put it on YouTube, which is really good, which was really interesting. They offered this flash presentation that people could interact with, so they could learn about the service being offered, but they could also interact with it, be more involved, and really understand it. And bloggers acted as their opinion leaders because they targeted tech-savvy bloggers. And these bloggers, you know, they have experience in new technology. Papa John's wants to be seen as a technology company, as a company that is with the times, is innovative and making new things. And so they targeted these bloggers so they could write about their new service and people would be convinced of what they're saying. And we think that through these tactics, there could have been a little bit more of a use of social media because in 2007, MySpace, Facebook, and Twitter were all beginning to be pretty prevalent. And so this is an opportunity for Fletcher & Hiller to really use those resources. But otherwise, securing a publication with the Wall Street Journal and Associated Press did manage to create a lot of awareness, and using YouTube as a predictor.
On your mark, get set, order. Our champion.
Okay, so evaluation. How did Fleischman Hillard evaluate the campaign? At the beginning, what they did, one of the first ways was to track media placements, and they tracked 629 media placements in different radios, newspapers, and they got another 84 tech and food blogs to post their flash demonstration, like Carilla said. The only problem with this is that we don't really know how many of the medium placements or how many views of the blog came from, or of the flash radio came from the blogs. So a future suggestion for that would be to sort of track that. For the media impressions as well, there wasn't as much of a content analysis. So yeah, there were 629 media placements, but we didn't know if it was positive, if it was negative. So as of right now, Fleischman Hillard is just saying the overall buzz for this was 629 media placements, which resulted in a $350,000 ad value is what they compared it to. And wait, one more little thing, 53 million impressions. And as we learned in class, media impressions aren't really the best way of evaluating a campaign. Sure, they mean a little bit of something, how many media placements, how many could have reached, but seeing as how they got 114,000 signups, well, we would say it was pretty successful. An interesting thing to note is that there were only 6,000 views on the flash demonstration. So compared to that, the 6,000 flash demonstration views compared to the 114,000 signups, it's pretty obvious that there's less than 5% viewership of the tutorial that people weren't really interested in that. People were signing up for another reason. So, I mean, suggestions for the future would include doing some focus groups and maybe some surveys, seeing what really drove people to sign up. Was it the media placements? Was it the blogs? We think focus groups and surveys really would have helped us determine that. And we realized that the tutorial, not many people watched it. While it was a good idea, maybe we didn't advertise it, or Fleischman Hillard didn't advertise it well enough, since it was 5% of the actual sign-up. So maybe people thought it was already too easy to use. They already knew how to text. It wasn't that difficult of a concept. So overall, the evaluation could have used a little bit more, but it seems like it was pretty much a success. People did sign up, and people were very accepting of new technology.
So for the conclusion, pretty much summing it up, a little more research could have been conducted, we feel like, for the target audience, because they had many statistics in there for the demographics, for who uses their phones, but they didn't really say where they got the information, which would have been really nice. The only impact objectives were noted and are based on raising awareness, which is not helpful for reading a case study, because we also need some output objectives as well to take action. There also were some weaknesses, such as during the year of the campaign, 2007, social media wasn't very influential, but Facebook and Twitter could have been used to spread the word about the campaign, and there was no mention of that at the time. There should have been multiple events also, instead of just one, maybe hitting other target cities, like even though they did reach the Mall of America, which is very, very famous, they could have at least maybe hit maybe 3 or 4 more cities just to promote. It seemed the most important roles for the evaluation were the media placements and media impressions, like Tom said. But prior to what we learned in class, we don't know if the media publications were a good way to target success, again, as he said. And also some suggestions would also be include formulating evaluative measures at the beginning. It would be helpful later on in the campaign, and such as content analysis and service to better understand the effect and efficiency of the program. And for the conclusion, Papa John's invested in a long-term relationship it holds with its customers by positioning itself as innovative and technologically forward company. By caring about newer, easier, and more efficient ways to provide its service, Papa John's is improving the community, and Papa John's got the media involved and started to build a long-lasting relationship with the outlets. And that's it.
Did you guys mention why they chose Minneapolis, or is there a reason why they chose it?
The mall, I mean, this is my opinion, but the Mall of America has thousands of people visiting every single day. It's one of the largest malls in the country. So if you're going to hit a mall, I mean, there are other malls that they could have hit, but that was definitely a smart move, because that is one of the biggest malls in the United States.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, the case study didn't really give enough backing behind its research on why it chose where to go and things like that, which would have been very beneficial. But again, like Carla said, we figured it was probably because it's one of the most famous spots in the U.S.
Anybody else?
Would you guys rather text or call to order pizza?
Call. I feel like it's. I like to know that my order is getting put through, but I use online. I think the best. There's always that worry that the text doesn't go through. So.
I think a good technology that recently came out. You guys all know Domino's, the online service, where basically you keep up the page and it tells you your pizza's being made, your pizza's being delivered, and so you have no question of where your pizza is.
You see like the person like Jeff put in your pizza.
Pizza security is a big deal.
I need that.
Pizza security.
Yeah.
Do you know if text ordering is still like a thing, or do they kind of move more to like an app?
It's still a thing.
Okay. Tyler?
I can't remember if you covered this or not, but did other companies follow suit after the success of this campaign with the texting?
It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure Domino's offers it now, as well as Pizza Hut.
Anyone else? No questions?
Thank you.